Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. And this is the You're Welcome stream. My name is Laz, and I'm one of the contestants here for the ESEA League Seasons 55 for the next big caster initiative. And just a little bit about that, what people are kind of wondering, it actually is a community event where, you know, a lot of casters like myself have a great opportunity to cast and hopefully get your community vote to making it to that voting stage where hopefully one of us will be able to have the massive opportunity to go to EPL this next turnaround, which would be such an incredible honor. And honestly, I can't thank enough, you know, for ESEA League and Faceit and everybody like kind of just collaborating and making this happen. Super excited for this. But look, I do want to just kind of quickly get into this. I am going to be covering some games, so I am going to actually be covering Team Deluxe here in for the IM division. They're going to be taking on EVILPEEK, and right now Deluxe is sitting at themselves at a 3-3 record. EVILPEEK right now is at 2-4. So again, two teams here for season 55 where they still have a lot to prove. They still have to be able to get themselves a bit of a turnaround, but the playoff contention is definitely still well within the realm. So definitely really excited to see that. So, and just quickly before we get into the game, just a little bit about myself. My name is Laz. I've been around for a little while, took a bit of a break, you know, here and there, still picking up a lot of events when I can, but I had a baby this last year. So, and just kind of getting myself back into the swing of things. Super excited for this opportunity and looking forward to interacting with you all. And again, thank you so much to ESEA League here for this opportunity. Look, let's get right into it. We're going to bring this thing in right away. And we're just kind of waiting for these guys to get things started. So like I said, this is for the IM division right now. Team Deluxe, that's going to be taking on EVILPEEK, and Ancient is the pick. So it looks like that is the official best of one pick for both these teams. Now, for Team Deluxe, I mean, this is a map where, I mean, honestly, they've shown that they can be decent on it. They've like kind of hit and miss results at times, but nonetheless, they have been able to get, I feel like that's more of their win category. So I think this is actually a pretty good veto for them. Probably a little bit rusty. They haven't played it probably as much as they should have, but this is a team that definitely fluctuates a little bit on their roster and, you know, the starting five. And it's a bunch of, you know, it's a bunch of older guys and OGs in the scene and dads that are, you know, just still competing and having a lot of fun. And that's what it's all about, right? That's what this whole thing is for, is any level, just competing and having a good time with your friends. So we're just going to wait things out, guys. I'm just going to grab a quick things here with that timer remaining, and we'll get things underway. All right, ready to go. Knife round going to be activated, and of course this is going to be very important for both these teams to decide which side they want to start on. Now, for Team Deluxe, like, I mean, to be honest, like, I feel like for them, they're definitely a team that's going to be a little bit more CT side heavy, where that's going to be the eye of the prize. That's what they're going to want if they can find this. So, not the best team at knives, but we're bound to see. Meow Meow's actually got himself a nice little bit of a start off. A lot of scared players on this, everybody. Fluxing the skins, everybody's just showcasing. Oh, a bit of a swing, but not bad at all for Meatball. Not looking the greatest, and now it's all just down to Bod. And he's got himself not a chance in heck, and now Deluxe, they're going to lose the knives, and now EVILPEEK, they get themselves for picking here of what they want to start with. All right, ready to go. Match is live. LO3 is done. EVILPEEK is going to be taking that CT side. And all these guys are ranked 9s and 10s essentially across the board here for both these teams respectively. Of course, with their Faceit levels. A little bit of mid-control coming through here now, so Deluxe is actually going to try to take this fast and dirty if possible, but they have to worry about these dualies. There's a dualies on the close left, but they're beautifully done here. And that's a good trade back from DRUStrike, but again, is it going to be enough? CT's now running through this, just making the connections. DRUStrike is just trying his best to get out of this position, but now the CT gets overwhelmed. And now Woods, thankfully, is going to be able to find himself a double kill. Now looking like a fake plant, making tons of noise. But they going to expect Rin right here to be in this position. He gives himself up. And now, for Jay Nasty, he's the last man remaining. So Drew's like able to find himself a nice little bit of a kill here. HP's low. And Jay Nasty now is going to have to prove something massive here. Doesn't have the kit. Does have the armor, though. Has made himself a bit of a footstep. Both these T's now giving themselves up. You can see they're both just going to play behind Pyramid, so this is important. If they can double swing this with the perfect timing, they surely should be able to have this done. And now Woods tries to go for a little bit of a gander. Drew, and they both swing together. Now Drew missing the shots. This is problematic. He has to just burn the time as much as possible. There's no kit. All he has to do is wait things out, but he goes down. But that's going to be the timer. And Deluxe, they're going to be able to get themselves a survival here for the first round. Really interesting round. I mean, again, could have gone either way. I think, you know, for Jay Nasty, just a bit of an unfortunate situation too. Because again, if he would have had a kit, honestly, I feel like that could have created a bit more of an opportunity where maybe he could have been able to find something. But look, Deluxe, they scraped through that round. They're gonna fully equip up. Galeals, AKs across the board. These guys, a couple Mac 10s, or singular Mac 10, I should say. And really just a light purchase here right now for the CT side. You got the Deagle here for Lalios and P250s otherwise, and just leaving Meow Meow here with the USP. Boy, it's been a long time since I've had to spectate, cast, and run the production. So again, I appreciate everyone with their patience. It's been a hot minute, I'm going to be honest, but nonetheless, we'll see if Jay Nasty's going to be able to showcase something here with the See You Later US, or the P250 even rather, but actually a very nice kill, but it's good instant trade backs. And now, Royal Guard, trying to stay true to the name right now, trying to see what he's going to be able to do. He does go for the quick one peek, but Bod is going to be able to find that double kill now, just leaving it to Meow Meow. This surely should be a Deluxe round, but again, if Meow Meow is going to be able to find another kill, that could be a good, you know, a good situation in terms of the economy. Meow Meow able to get a kill, maybe get a gun. Wouldn't be bad at all. Does the damage, but close but no cigar. Yeah, good work so far from the Deluxe side here. You got Wood sitting at a 3-1. 350 damage so far in the round. Reese still looking for himself that first kill, but it's still early on. He's got lots of time. CT's now going to go for some mid control with a double player, so they're going to go for the 1-2-2. Nade that's going to get thrown. Is that going to be able to make the connection? No, it's not going to do as much as it was hoping for. Meatball does take a little bit here. He's down to 70. Now this is a good kill here from Lalios, and now another Molotov just to push things back just a little bit more against Woods, but in a strong position. But he's on his own, but he's able to get this kill regardless. But it's an instant trade back, so this is a good note right now for EVILPEEK. They're able to get themselves an AK picked up. Able to secure this B control, but that's not going to be the prize. That's going to be Royal Guard one more time. Has to lock this down. Has to be able to get it, but he's not going to be able to find it. And now Jay Nasty just waiting things out just in the outskirts of Donut. Maybe to take a bite, but Drew's going to be able to get this bomb down. You can already hear the other T's are running towards the same main. Flash is getting thrown. This is the opportunity right now for Jay Nasty and Lalios to be able to swing this potentially, but they have to get moving quickly. Again, the utility's available, but is it going to have the defuse kit? I mean, the lack of it to get themselves this. The smoke's going to get thrown. Now picking up these kills. Reese finds himself that first kill. Can he find more? He will not. And this should just be enough time, but it's going to be very, very close. But nonetheless, EVILPEEK. Oh my goodness, with spare milliseconds, they get it. Really, really love that retake. I mean, again, just the pop flash that you saw from the player in mid. That was perfect, just allowing those guys to go for the swing. Good instant smoke for mid. It's going to be blocking things off just a little bit here for the T's, potentially. But they're going to still bombard this. They're going to try to do what they can, but Reese is taking significant damage. This is problematic. Trying to tap away here with the Tech 9, just hoping for goodness that he's going to be able to get it. And Jay Nasty picks himself up this double. And now things are falling apart, unfortunately, here for Deluxe. But it is down to the 3v3 with that kill from Woods. That's an important kill. The bomb, though, here from Drew Strike has to be careful because now he's going to have a free B site. But his teammates need to be able to join him. You can see the CTs mixing things up. Rin's going to be able to find this one kill. And now you have two of the T's that are split out from each other. This is going to be hard. Drew in a tight position with 52 HP with the Tech 9 in hand. Now Bald's going to be able to join him. Full head armor. He's got the AK and the molly, so getting ready to throw a potential lineup. Not going to land the greatest. And now Rin's going for a one spray down. Not able to find that second. Bald can't seem to get it, but the defuse is going to be done. And right back into this game, it's a 2-2. A great round from EVILPEEK to bring themselves back into this game at 2-2. And again, these are some grindy rounds. It's definitely not easy. You can see that mid control once again. You can see Jay Nasty, Lalios, they're going to go for this. Reese, though, he's able to find himself a two-piece. Through the smoke, double headshot. So now things have gotten a little bit more awkward. A little bit more uncomfortable right now here for EVILPEEK. This is where Deluxe, they have to play this with the numbers. They want to be able to group this up. Get that instant trade. Drew, a surprise attack, a nice little bit of a taparino. And now we're seeing the CTs. They're dropping like flies. Yeah, I'm just going to try to see if we can work through the smoke, maybe getting the timing, trigger discipline a little bit. Takes down Reese, but he's done his job. And now Rin and Drew, they can make a little bit of a hug here into smokes, but now this big advantage has turned into a 3-on-2, which is still the advantage for Deluxe. But again, they have to be careful. They have plenty of time to work with 50 seconds remaining, but Bot's going to get annihilated. And now all of a sudden, this thing is back to the 2-2. Meatball, thankfully, for the big flank. Now this thing is turned into the full grind of a 1v1. Woods has got the bomb. He's in a great position because he could still make a lot of choices that he could go for on this. The easy tell for this is for him just to go for the B plant. This is not a bad play from Meow Meow because, again, still playing that CT side, waiting things out. He's kind of right in the middle point to go for the quick rotate onto this, allowing the bomb to go down. Sure, that's fine. A little bit of extra money here for the T's is going to be nothing to break too much of a sweat about. But now Woods and Meow Meow close together. It's all about the timing. It's all about who's going to peek this first, who's going to be able to get the best timing in this situation. Woods clearing things out, pressing forward. Meow Meow now has already been able to investigate, getting through cave and digging up maybe something big, and now Woods spots him. He's already there. The smoke's there. That's not going to be great. Smoke's going to get popped, but he needs to be able to find this kill, realizing he might not be there. Meow Meow's waiting. Who's going to be able to win this shot? Woods sprays frantically, but he will get it done. Yeah, honestly, these rounds they're getting close though, right? Like, I mean, we can see the first one, you know, down to the like 1v1 essentially, you know, 3 alive. Like these are not bad rounds, but some of these situations are getting a little bit close for comfort for my liking. But look, a round win is going to be a round win, but the money situation looking very poor here from both these teams, but a lot of investment is made here from EVILPEEK. Double player in B, back to this double player into middle. And that's leaving Reese here. He actually gets a little bit of a spot on the edge of the smoke. Trying to see if he's going to be able to find another one, but he doesn't. And Deluxe just playing this very safe, just trying to play the numbers. Very passive setup indeed. Haven't been able to see an op-out into play yet either. A lot of waiting around, and a lot of respect here. Lalios is just going to wait things out. Getting this spot. I believe he should have spotted Reese already. A nice little bit of a shot from him as well. So mid control is up for grabs, right? So you still have the player of Jay Nasty. He's just kind of sitting on the outskirts of Donut. He does have the full loss, so again, just playing the tight angle. Bald's actually been able to make it through. Just a little bit of a touch, a little bit of a tickle. Tries to go for a little bit more. Tries to see if he can get the timing. And now Rin, blind as a bat. And you can see that bomb has already made its way over towards this B site. The good distraction of Ball just trying to see if he can get this kill. He's making a lot of noise, but he hasn't been able to find much. And now Rin has to be able to find this double kill. This is up close and personal, but he can't get it done. Woods, thankfully, to save the day. And look at this. It's just a massacre into the site. And now the CTs, they have all dropped, leaving it just down to Royal Guard. Only sitting at a 1-5 so far in this game. Statistically not been the greatest, but look, plenty more of Counter-Strike to happen through, but gets spotted. Bald's going to be able to play the lurk, and now Deluxe, they're going to be up to 4-2. So EVILPEEK going to be on the save situation here. So yeah, again, just putting very light investment into this. You know, P250 here and there, 5-7. Honestly, makes a lot of sense for them. I would like to just, you know, if I could break this down, I love for them to group up and just kind of play the 5-man stack. Just kind of go for the gamble. You're not really, you know, again, with a round like this with minimal investment, like if you can get some kills and get some guns, and if you have to save, worst case, that's honestly not going to be a bad thing moving into, you know, to the following rounds. So for me, I think that could be a really good note. Good kill from Woods once again. He's been able to find quite a few entries into this. But again, you still have to worry about Royal Guard that's going to be close up. Reese is able to find a little bit more of a scrap onto this. Does get timinged. So an AK is picked up. But again, there's no armor. So that's going to be a little bit of a potential issue. Drew, I think they might have actually spotted each other, but Drew tries to throw the smoke. He's trying to play this a little bit more conservative with the util, but gets bested once again. Both the CTs have actually leaned onto this B site. So now it's a double AK pickup. But again, the problem is the aim punch is going to be a bit of an issue. Full armor here for Deluxe. In a position right now, if they can take down Royal Guard, that's a free A site. But you can see Meatball, he's going to explore. He's going to try to see what he's going to be able to find here through mid. He goes into Red Room, but he has to worry about Meow Meow. So right now, for Meatball, just on the other side of this wall, can he be able to get the timing? But actually, Meow Meow is going to get the better of it. So now, this is all about Lalios. And look at that, EVILPEEK. With a minimal investment, like I said, they bring it right back into this. They don't need a 5-man stack. They just need to hit the shots, and they just pick these guys apart like pulled pork sandwiches. Really, really good round from EVILPEEK. Honestly, again, that's going to bite a lot here for Deluxe. I mean, again, just losing a situation like that, it kind of felt like a little bit of lurking, and they were just trying to play this all on their own, and they were just trying to go with these one-to-one plays. Don't love this, but Bot is going to just kind of accelerate this one. And now, Lalios is going to get this Molotov just to maybe stop the plant, maybe potentially. Spams through. A big push here from Woods. He's got his knife out to the gunfight. This is not a good situation for Woods, and now he needs to redeem himself, and he will, but again, it's the cost of his HP. The 3-3 in the HP department is low for both these sides. You have 9 for Jay Nasty. You're sitting in the situation with Woods with 18. Both these CTs now going to group up towards Donut. This play from Woods could be huge. If he can find the timing of this, he might be able to backstab it. Gets the easy kill. Now this is problematic. This is where Deluxe, they just have to be able to utilize this. Player in the smoke. Reese is trying to go through it, but now they got to be able to get this, and they will. And Meatball, he's going to be able to find him with, you know, remaining seconds onto this, and Deluxe will maintain the lead 5-3. EVILPEEK now putting the investment into this, M4s across, a couple MP9s, and honestly, I don't blame them. I think they have to go for this position. This is where, you know, you're down by 2. They had the money. I mean, it wouldn't have really made a lot of sense, in my opinion, for them to go for one more save. They could have probably done, like, light armor, maybe SMGs if they really wanted to be a bit more going into the following. But when you get kills like this, this is going to be, again, a good opener. And that's going to be a free AK grabbed up. The smoke getting placed here as well. With Woods now actually being able to get himself into good position. This is, again, if he can find the timing, Meow, Meow. Ooh, this could be interesting. Meow Meow does make his presence known. Actually gets punished for it, so a little bit of an awkward encounter, but Rin's almost able to find himself that double kill. This is a back and forth affair. And now DELUXE. A tough situation where Meatball and Woods need to do something big here. And it's all just down to Meatball. He was able to find the diffuser in the smoke, but now can he save the day once again? He has to be able to find the 2. It's the 1, but almost gets that second. But Jay Nasty gets the better of him. Plenty of time for the defuse. And another scrappy round that we see here for ESEA League Season 55 in the IM division. There's no big lead. This thing is a nail-biter. Well, the one thing that's, you know, important here for the DELUXE, I mean, for them, considering they're not, you know, they lose that round, but they made it down to the 1v1. Look, this is still a situation where that economy still for the CT side. It does get hit a little bit. It does get impacted, but again, they got the M4s. They're sitting good on this, but again, you can see the money's well spent. 1,300. That's kind of just sitting for Meow Meow for the time being. A bit of a mixture purchase right now. So this is actually going to be the full pop right now from DELUXE. They're going to 5-man commit to this. Good pop flashes. The smoke here just for the left-hand side. Rin's going to be able to find himself that double kill. And now Jay Nasty, he's been able to find himself Woods. So now, the 3-on-2, the advantage for EVILPEEK. This is where we have to see DELUXE. They have to make a play. Baw does get the kill. My goodness. And it's all just down to Reese now, sitting in the smoke, trying to pull a little bit of a Stewie 2K. Finds that first, finds the last player, so now they know exactly where each other are. It's a little bit of a cat and mouse. Oh no, dear goodness, they're rocking right into each other, but oh, Lalios will be able to find it. Diffuse kit, an easy diffuse, and once again, I cannot stress this enough, it's down to these 1v1 situations. It just becomes a complete coin toss. You know, really, you know, you kind of look at the statistics of this, and like Jay Nasty been able to find himself, you know, some good kills, the 1 kill here and there, maybe that double kill. Rin actually very nice double kill earlier on that allowed a little bit more creation here for them too. But Lalios has really just been saving the day a lot, like big kills here, just getting ultra aggressive, trying to win these fights, and now this is just a little bit of a bloodbath. It's just Bod and Drew Strike now. A potential opportunity where DELUXE now will lose their lead for the first time in this game. They've been able to scrape by every single time, and now they're just hoping, they're just praying that they're going to be able to have a gifted duel to pick up a gun, and now Bod is just about to run into 4 guys, and there we go. A nice, flawless round, actually, from EVILPEEK. So again, and just kind of building up the economy, getting into this last round of the first half. That's not a bad sign at all. So now it's on the line here. Again, we've been seeing this game a little bit of a teeter-totter. This thing has been going back and forth. It's been all over the place, but Op is going to be placed out. That's actually going to be from Reese. So very interesting because Meatball typically is the Op player on this team. Reese is kind of always that secondary Op, or like, you know, if he's kind of feeling it, he'll communicate it. So that might be the calm here, right? Some big shoes to fill to see what he could do. Go for the boost onto this. spam attempt here from EVILPEEK at the B site, but you can see it's just one player in the site, and now you can actually see that Rin, again, an easy kill, getting this jump up onto the box, and DELUXE not covering all their bases. They were kind of just hyper-focusing on just getting into this B site. Woods was trying to get a little bit lurky, but now DELUXE needing to come up big, but it's actually Meatball and DrewStrike that's able to find themselves one apiece, putting the man advantage back in their favor. A great paw flash into CT. Bod, does he spot him, but he can't land the shot. Now things are getting a bit awkward. Things are becoming an issue. DrewStrike with 7 HP, swings, does some damage. Meatball, the op player, spots the arm. He tries to see aggressive, but he double scopes. Oh, dear goodness, Meatball. Not the time for it. And they get punished, and now the first half going to be going in favor for EVILPEEK with a 7-5. All right, 7-5. EVILPEEK, actually, they're the ones that are going to be calling this first tactical timeout, so we haven't seen any of them utilized yet, interestingly enough, and looks like Lalios is going to be, with the armor, going to have the P250, so he's kind of buffed up right now, so, again, having a great game, again, sitting at a 14-7, pretty decent damage, again, being able to find these double kills here and there, it's not the stats say everything, but you can definitely tell he's been able to create some good space here for this team. And we saw a lot of good effect, on the other side here for DELUXE. That was where Woods was doing this. He was the kind of the guy that was being the entry player. He was kind of looking for the timings. He was getting gifted some of them, but, good on EVILPEEK. They were able to get themselves a little bit more of a bounce back. They did a better job just kind of figuring out what DELUXE was actually doing. And now a 1-1-3 setup here from DELUXE on the CT side, and you can already see that Bod is actually pushing himself all the way through cave, so he's going to try to investigate this early. Meatball, though, again, as soon as this utility is going to be thrown, this is a decision he has to make, either to play the full retake or potentially just go for these duels. That's not a bad start at all. And now the T is trying to swarm into this site if they can. Plant's going to come through. Double player into Temple, so now Meatball has to be careful because he has to go for the reload. His teammate's going to be there to help him. Reese, he saves him a little bit. Right through the thick and thin of this. Now this thing is turned into a 2v2. Both Drew and Woods now trying to see what they can be able to find. They have to worry about the player behind Big Box. They have to worry about this player in Donut. And now Woods, a mission impossible task. No kit, has to look for these duels. Whiff City and EVILPEEK going to be able to find themselves the opening pistol. Lavio sits himself with a quad kill nonetheless. So I talked about the impact. I said, yeah, maybe statistically he's not on top of the charts, but that's definitely going to do. All right, back into the action. DELUXE, a 4-player commit right now into mid. And a full stack here from the other side of EVILPEEK. So Woods is actually, again, going to be the one that's close to get a little bit of intel. Flash is going to get thrown, so that plant should be able to come through easily. Now, this is all about the timing here for the CTs. They have the Ts just waiting for them. They can smell them a mile away. Yeah, and this thing is over and quick. So now EVILPEEK going to have themselves in a situation of a 9th round. Again, not a lot of investment here for the CT side of DELUXE. But now they got the money on the board. Bloodglass is going to be sitting himself at 3,900, but still a situation where he could just, kind of rifle up and either play the lock utility or he might try to mix things up. And now we see another tactical timeout. So this is the second one we have now seen here from EVILPEEK. So they are wanting to collect their thoughts, kind of figuring out, okay, what do we got to do a little bit differently into this situation? I like it. I mean, right now it's been successful for them. They've been able to get themselves, 2 rounds in a row that they've been able to find. So they've been doing quite well. And really, it just feels like the early portion of this game was decent for DELUXE, and it was going back and forth. And like I said, it was a close affair. But now it really does feel like EVILPEEK are kind of running on momentum. They're starting to feel a lot better. We're seeing, some of the players really just picking up A lot of big kills. J Nasty 16 and 9. Lalios, I really hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not, but 20 and 7. So statistically doing really, really well. Mac 10 still available. Gliel. So this is kind of, again, a situation where they have some money. I don't want to like argue it's a bonus. It kind of is in some regard, but a 1-2-2 from the CT side, and it looks like it's going to be a full commit here from the T side. So now a lot of pressure for Meatball. He's by himself. He's got the A4 in hand, but overwhelmed with utility. That allows for the plant to come through. So now this is a little bit problematic in the sense the smoke's going to be blocking things off. Double player into Donut. Drew might be able to find the timing of this. He gets the one. Can he find that second? He will. So now this is turned into a 4-on-2 situation. Diffuse coming through. They're trying to be able to find it, and yes, it is. They just get themselves running rampant. Drew's going to be able to get the last kill here. So Deluxe, thankfully for them, they can count their lucky stars. They only lose 2 players. Meatball just burning him enough time, throwing that flash when he could. It's a lot of work to be that sole anchor. Triple AKs and a double Mac 10 here for the side of EVILPEEK. Oh, this might just be a full send potentially towards B. Good nades coming in from the CT side. A lurk smoke going to get thrown. Woods ready to retaliate back to just throw some counter utility, burn a little bit more time. These T's getting ready for the full execute. Now Woods, this is a moment where he needs to shine bright. These players are actually just creeping through the smoke, so this is awkward. This is a bit of an issue, but look at him. Both Woods and Bod Glass are able to just take everybody out in their sights. Wasted there, destroyed, and now Lalios gets himself a little consolation prize, but again, magnificent hold. You can see that Bod Glass was just sitting in the smoke. He was just waiting things out. Woods was the first point of contact. They were trying to get through that smoke. They were trying to figure out the control of it. Very well done from him. And they both were able to find 2 kills individually and just lock this thing down. Slow things down just a little bit here for EVILPEEK. Again, a situation where very minimal investment. You can see kind of just playing the default, waiting things out just a little bit more. The 3-2. And now right now for Deluxe, like this is important to know that they have to be careful because they should have an inkling that, again, there's pistols that could be on the playing field and they have to wait things out just a little bit. And they don't want to get in these kind of awkward positions where they get too close and allow those pistols to be able to have more of a success rate. I do like that they're kind of playing a little bit more of the longer angles and just trying to see what they can work with. Woods is going to be able to, he's going to be the first point of contact if these guys decide to pop through this. Smoke's now going to dissipate here momentarily. No utility available here for the T side of EVILPEEK. So this is going to be, again, a massive swing and hoping they can get this trade. But again, Bod is close. Him and Woods have perfect crossfire. Even if Woods is only able to get 1 kill, Bod hopefully can be able to find this double kill to bounce right back into this. With 35 seconds remaining, so now it's becoming a little bit more obvious, and Deluxe is playing this patiently. Double player into A, leaving it for Drew Strike just to play into mid, just to spot things out. So again, this is the moment. This is here where the pistols need to be able to go massive, a big swing. Oh, it's just a meat grinder, and now Bod. He doesn't find any kills. It's actually all Woods, but he does a little bit of damage, and now the plant's coming through. So they're going to get this plant. Bod does get it at the last second right as that plant does go down. Looking to see what they can find. Lalios here sitting with the M4. And gets removed from that equation. So all in all, from EVILPEEK, in my opinion, still a great round because, again, very minimal investment. They had just that Deagle, P250s, a Tech 9. Getting the bomb down was probably the goal of that round, and that makes a lot of sense. So for them, not bad at all. Their loss bonus is getting bigger and bigger as we go. But for Deluxe, I do love that, Woods and Bodglass, they play this really nice crossfire. And Woods just gets it done with a triple kill. The moment of truth now. A big round for both these teams. Still in the lead for EVILPEEK. And we see that bot actually does get aggressive. Down and towards B. A double player into mid as well from Drew and also Reese. Pushing into this, and now Meow Meow, just Drew actually expected. He gets the timing against him. So again, this is where we see Deluxe. They kind of play these positions where one player is just a little bit more overextending than they should be, and that's allowing EVILPEEK to be able to find themselves back into more equal footing in these duels. And that's where it gets to be a bit of an issue. Now you can see for EVILPEEK, taking their time. Going to be grouping up, and this might be the A-pop. 50 seconds remain, so again, they still have some time to work with. Plenty of utility here for Lalios, and then also for Rin as well. So this is where we saw Meatball. He was the one player that was typically playing this A site. Reese has decided, okay, look, I'm going to play into Donut. I'll be that guy that's going to have the cross. Meatball, you're going to need to find the perfect timing onto this temple swing. So now, Reese, no utility. It's all raw aim. Meatball does have that utility. He actually decides to go for the swing himself. A good molly. Reese is being disciplined onto this. He hears it. He must hear this player close, and there it is. Plant's going to come through. And now it's a 3-on-2. The advantage here for Deluxe. You have the position of Lalios just playing behind big box, as well as A main. This is problematic in the sense that Lalios has to be able to find this kill quickly, and Meow Meow finds this one, and oh dear, this is turned around. Reese, the defuse kit is available. A flash going to get thrown. Goes for the swing. It gets bested here from Meow Meow. The advantage doesn't matter here for Deluxe. And now the 10th round is going to be grabbed up. Double digits secured here for EVILPEEK. $23-10 right now for Lalios. 16 kills available for J Nasty, and Rin actually sitting at 15. So these three players have really just picked up a lot of heavy lifting. But again, like, even when we talk about the statistics, Meow Meow, like, you know, sitting at a 7-13, still was able to get that really important kill. Was able to start, you know, kind of kickstart things in that, you know, post-plant situation. So regardless, that's where, you know, again, we always talk about stats, you know, can paint a bit of a picture, but not the full picture, right? There's a lot of impact that was gained there. Good smoke that's going to get thrown. Just to slow things down against EVILPEEK once more. A little bit of a pop onto the smoke, and now Meow Meow maybe toying the idea of potentially to swing this, but again, I just feel like that'd be a little bit reckless. But now, Bot and Woods have decided, let's commit another smoke into B main. I love this because, again, we're just burning this. You can see that EVILPEEK, they're kind of getting a feeling, okay, look, they got plenty of utility. They've, you know, burned a lot of it, sure. But by the time the smoke dissipates, we don't have a lot of time to work with. Now they have to walk all the way around through spawn. So this is becoming a little bit more, you know, they need to find some aspect of control. And now Meatball's got the op out. Oh, he's going to get aggressive. He's got to look for this beautiful shot from Meatball, and Reese is right there to help him. It's a helping hand. Meatball, hungry for more. And now Woods joining the party. Better late than never. And now Rin with 5 seconds remaining. He just has to save this gun. There's no hope and chance that he's going to be able to have this.
Counter-terrorists win.
But once again, a lockdown from Deluxe. Scraping through and, again, finding themselves 4 alive. Like, this is where I was kind of mentioning the CT side really is the bread and butter for these guys. This is the home-cooked meal. This is where these guys feel really good. And we're starting to see that, you know, history of these guys playing together. It's been a long time with Deluxe with each other, you know, odd and sod, different, you know, 5th and 4th players, but really the core players have been together for a very long time. A lot of homies. We're seeing that little bit of synergy. Thank God. Big smoke from Woods. And again, you can see that EVILPEEK just kind of playing the 1-1-3, so really not fully sure, and Rin is kind of in the driving seat because, again, he doesn't have that utility, but he has the full armor, he has the AK, so for him, putting himself up some decent stats in this game, right? But now this is where he needs to be able to pop off. This is where he needs to be able to, you know, get the meal deal, essentially, to be able to find something. Double player into cave, so now Woods is going to play on the top angle, but Odd is going to play that bait. So are they going to expect him to be here? Woods tries to be patient, but he goes for the kill. And now EVILPEEK. That AK going to be picked up here for Lalios. No armor on it, but full HP nonetheless, and it's all just down to him. A 1-on-5. With the bomb down. Oh, Woods, he gets aggressive, but look, I mean, you can afford this because now they have the information. They just wanted to know, okay, look, where really is he? Where is this player hiding? They have the bomb in their control. Drew just needs to play this perfectly, just in the sense of just getting the information. Goes for the massive wide swing, but look, that's what I was just saying. You just need to jiggle, but he went for the Ferrari swing. He got hungry. He thought he was going to get a better of it, but DELUXE will bounce back once again. This time, you know, getting 3 alive, still keeping that economy looking very good. Right in the green. You know, Bod sitting himself at 10K, 7,900 for Reese. You know, it's just raining money. It's raining some coins. So, not the same end here for the T side of EVILPEEK. This is where things are getting really scrappy, and a full investment into this. A Galil here for Meow Meow. A Tech 9 here for Rin. So, this is, again, you know, really scraping the bottom of the barrel to see what they can, you know, do with this. But they've been able to do it. They were the team that were able to put a little bit of investment into it. They were the ones that, you know, put in P250s and Deagles and got that, essentially, that deco round against DELUXE in the first half. Meatball ready to go, teeing things off. Good placement right into the crosshairs. And now you can see that EVILPEEK looking for the idea. They're anticipating this big swing. They were trying to go for the big split, but Reese now gets himself the duels, and now Rin by themselves. And Meatball just taking everybody out in his sights. A triple kill for him. Going to be putting himself in that 16th kill now, and a very well distributed amount of frags here for the DELUXE side. I mean, Woods is, again, having himself, you know, statistically with the kills or the KD ratio, not bad at all, of course, but we're starting to see this teamwork. We're starting to see this kind of build in the right way. The blocks are starting to fit a little bit nicely, but a tough round here as we get closer and closer to the end of this match. If DELUXE can be able to find this will put them in the positive for their league record. That would be a 4-3 for a team like EVILPEEK. They'll be sitting themselves at that 2-5 situation. And it looks like EVILPEEK, they're going to try this one more time. They're going to try to swing into this Woods. Blind as a bat. Bod can't be able to find anything either. That utility, it just hands out wonders right now. Turning this into the 4-on-3. Reese be able to find himself these kills, and now all of a sudden this thing is turned around. The Tech 9 can't seem to get it done, keeping 3 alive for the CT side, even despite the fact of the aggression here from EVILPEEK. They get the bomb down, they need it, and now they're gonna have to pull 2 rounds in a row to push this thing to overtime. Otherwise this thing's all done. Do or die right now for EVILPEEK to be able to see if they can keep themselves alive into this game. Or have they been dismantled? Have they been bested? Going back for the B main control. Drew just spamming away through the smoke. He takes down the Royal Guard. It's been a tough game for him here with a 6-20 score. They're getting hungry. They're getting excited. And now they're going to try to go for this pop one more time into B. EVILPEEK. They're playing the track on repeat, but they're hoping it can just hit that song perfectly again. But look at Woods. A masterclass spray. Baud putting the USP to work. My goodness! And he puts in so much damage. And this thing might be all over. The nade gets thrown. Meatball swings wide. But DELUXE is going to be able to seal the deal with a 13-10 here for ESEA League Season 55. Getting themselves in the positive record for this game. Yeah, so honestly, very impressive stuff from DELUXE. Again, being able to bring this thing back, you know, where, you know, as a 7-5 score, that was in effect for EVILPEEK, and then, you know, able to just close things out with that 8-3 side, you know, just to close things out here for DELUXE is a good job well done for these guys. Locking things down on the CT side really did show the true comfort and the true colors that they played well. But, you know, I did like some of the aspects we saw in the first half from EVILPEEK. They made it very close. They were able to scrape through into the lead. So, honestly, you know, with a team that, you know, when you look at their record and you think, okay, this is probably going to be a relatively easy game or a bit of a blowout, you would think for a team like DELUXE, it's still a very competitive match. And again, that's where I kind of go to the facts about, like, look, like, you know, the records only paint one picture, and those kind of statistics, you know, can only show so much. But, you know, got to give a lot of props here for Woods. He set himself at a 23-16. You know, Baud was able to get himself that 19-15, and essentially everybody else, you know, 17, 15, 14 kills here from DELUXE. So all in all, not a bad sight at all. But look, that's going to be it here for this match here. This is just the best of one for the ESEA League for the IM division. Make sure to keep tuning in. I'll be covering, again, all the different divisions. Very excited to be doing this. And again, my name is Laz, and I'm very excited to be here. So make sure to follow me as well. My Twitter is, or X, I guess now, is LAZZ_TV. And I'll try to fix some of the assets as well, just to kind of get things a little bit more cleaned up for you guys. But really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Take care.